Hey everyone, it's Marina from the Be Here for Good Foundation. And May is the Family and Domestic Violence Prevention Awareness Month, bit of a mouthful. But I wanted to create a small clip or video because it seems that's what most people look at now. The too long didn't read phenomenon is very real. But I wanted to explain and talk to you about why prevention is so important in family and domestic violence. This is where the long term impacts can get reduced. We can intervene earlier. We can actually create better outcomes for both perpetrators and people, victims and survivors of domestic violence, if we get in early enough. That's why our organisation is so passionate about prevention and dealing with some of the social structures that enable domestic violence. But I wanted to talk to you about two things that you can do in the prevention area. You can do it quite easily within your own home, with your own friends and family members. And one is very specific. I want to talk to you about the Manosphere. Now, the Manosphere is getting lots of airplay at the moment. You know, there's videos and there's an enormous amount of coverage over on Netflix, thanks to Louis Theroux doing a documentary on it. But the Manosphere is a really complicated social media and influencer phenomena. There are many great messages in the Manosphere. A couple of them around improving your fitness, looking after yourself physically. Tick, love that. There's also one about creating goals and being career minded. Get off video games and start thinking about your future. Tick. We all love that. We love to see people with purpose who are fit and energized and they're focused. But it's the third area that is designed deliberately to enhance the anxiety of our young men and also to unify them against a group that we are so worried about. And that group is women, misogyny. There's a tone that goes through the manosphere around being superior, to be alpha, to be better than women, and by default women should be submissive and inferior to all things male. It's a very powerful marketing technique to unify people into a false group and a false sense of like shared values and shared ideas, but it is absolutely destroying the relationship potential of our young men. It's creating a sort of a false illusionary hatred towards women, and that misogyny is the first seed that will start to enable a social structure that allows domestic violence to happen. It's not a direct relationship, or because you want to watch, I don't know, Nick Fuentes or Andrew Tate or take the red pill. Doesn't mean you're going to be a perpetrator, but what it does, it's going to desensitize you to some of the really important aspects of, what it means to have respectful and equal relationships. 2026, it's all about equality. We can all share in our prosperity together. We don't need to have this sort of ugly division that seems to be commercialized and, dare I say it, monetized over in the influencer space of the manosphere. That's one thing you can do. You can just become more aware of it, and talk to people in your family. This is your tip. Talk to people in your family or your social network who you suspect might be exposed to some of these crazy these crazy influencers. And these influencers, my friends, are smart. They will seduce you with sensible, rational ideas of fitness and, looking after yourself. I love that. Amazing self-improvement. Awesome. Then they'll also add a bit of motivation and goal setting, a bit of dopamine hit. And I'll speak with authority. If you actually dare to go down the rabbit hole, it's hard to not listen. Like, these dudes are so weird on it. But if you think that you're someone in your community, family member, maybe a son, brother, or whatever, is being exposed to much of this, the tip is to get connected to this person. If it's your son, spend more time with them. Don't take on the manosphere, because I hate to tell you, they are sending messages to destroy relationships between mothers and sons. They are telling you that all women are ridiculous. They would only they're manipulative and they're just trying to get it's emotional abuse, let's just call it. But you can't take it on direct. But what you can do is actually spend more time, try to coax people off social media, find a shared common ground with those men, it's mainly men in your life, and start to build out from that. It might be sport. It might be, a funny joke. It might be something that you can do to start building a common trusting relationship and start to break down some of the hypnotism that's been applied to our young men. That's one thing you can do right now. Pick up the phone, go have a coffee. Now, I'll warn you, if the folks that you're thinking of that who probably you think I want to help them out, if they are deep in the rabbit hole, you're going to need a bit of patience. A bit of patience to start rolling it back. They will probably dismissive. One of the characteristics is very mocking. They will mock you, and they will be superior and all these types of things as they mimic the influences that they're unfortunately being exposed to. And you're going to hang it out. You're going to have to keep going. Bit of resiliency. You've got to support our young men as we sort of help them through. Because in the prevention world with family domestic violence, we have to look at every lever and everything we can to be able to stop it creating a society that enables misogyny, that amplifies inequity, because nobody in 2026 should be living fear in their homes, having anxiety, inducing methods applied to them to try to make them more malleable. No one deserves that. We don't need it. We don't need to do it. So that's what you can do in May, Family and Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And you can join us at the Here for Good in our little humble mission to try to address some of the social structures that are enabling this type of terrible, terrible situation that we find our society in. Thanks for listening. And let's get rid of these terrible folks that are hurting our young men. Okay, thank you. Bye.